Hello, this is Quintus Hazard, and happy Halloween! Which is when I'm going to release this video because that'll be the last day of SBBtober, and this is a video going over the pieces I did for this month. Hooray! Day 1 was Cecily, and to start off, I posted that speed paint that I did, and yes, Rhythm Heaven Fever. And that outfit that the samurai wears in the second samurai slice. Yeah, I thought that'd look cool on Cecily, so something basic to start us off before we get into the fucking heavily shaded pieces with a million layers. Day 2 was her Mifi, and I'm sure you saw this in my update video when I said, hey, I'm not making videos this month. And I thought to myself, people might draw her Mifi looking angry or, I don't know. I wanted to put my own spin on her character. Well, not thing, but I wanted to focus on a different aspect of her than might seem obvious. Her love of children, being a Jade Blood and all. And I thought, how angsty would it be if Cecily was somehow dead, but left a small Yapara grub in the reduplication caverns or something, and someone on Tumblr sent me an anon that said what if the executive took Cecily's DNA and without her consent cloned a descendant of her, if she was not expected to live or something. And I was like, wow, that's so angsty. I love it. Day 3 is Sestro, and, a man has fallen into the river in Lego City. I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I'm proud of the face, especially. And, I don't normally do, bright pieces like this, but, yeah. And Lego's hard to fucking draw. I'm so sorry. Day 4 is Ripite, and ever since I first saw Ripite, I was like, hey, this guy's song is Mr. Blue Sky, and I'm like, I tried to do the binary pen, the one that on Paint Tool side, which without the anti-aliasing. But every time you fucking maneuver the layer with the line art on, it goes all fuzzy like it's anti-aliased, so it looks like a little less good than I hoped, but I don't care. He's just happy. He deserves it, and I'm proud of the hair. Siraj, I remember spending a few hours on this piece, mainly because I was focusing on the background, which is basically Siraj's office from Snowbound Blood, but we're from another angle, so I could put that cute little picture of Ripite and Siraj in the back. She's taking a break to watch one of her horror movies. I love Siraj. She lives rent-free in my head. She will nya at you as a warning. Also, I wanted to kind of push myself a little and have that casual leaning back, one leg crossed over the other kind of pose. And the high heels were easier to draw than I expected. Day 6 was Hayyan, who's one of the Trollodex trolls that hasn't had a root yet. I didn't know much about her, but she has a Toy House page, so I went on there, and pretty much what it is she's intelligent, she has good eyesight, and she likes guns. So I was like, hey, that sounds just like Inteleon from Pokemon. And I was like, I had a lot of fun with this. I love Hayyan's design. I am looking respectfully, madam. And I posted this in the Vastera Discord server, and the person who created Hayyan was like, oh, she'd definitely have an Inteleon on her team, and I was like, wow, I'm so glad that I am big brain. Day 7 is Sepros, which is an OC of Zamag, one of the the head artist of Vastera, and also kind of ties into the extended Vastera Snowbound Blood universe by being Sinez Moirail, apparently. They also apparently make out. And I was like, this person likes heavy metal, so do I. So I was like, what if they started a band with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend's girlfriend, and it was also an excuse for me to draw Mashiri in the outfit she wears in Volume 9. I am looking respectfully. Sephiroth is really cool. I love their design. I love the like leather jacket with the bat wings on the bottom of the sleeves. That's so cool. Day 8 was BitCon, and this kind of ties into a bit of a later piece, as in 2 days later. He's walking, he's going to see Indari, and that's why he's got the blush on his face, because he's talking to Indari on the phone. And I like doing these kind of one colour backgrounds. Well, not one colour, but like you take the blue and it's kind of teal blue kind of thing. And yet I still was like, hey, I'm going to shade this, like, completely, and I'm going to add... Did I add texture to this? I don't think I did, actually. Day 9 was Davino, who is another original character from, like, who also ties into the universe. This is an original character of, like, the person who created Bitcon's partner. So Davino is Bitcon's Moirail, apparently, and I think they are very snazzy. I have a soft spot for non-binary people in suits, and wow, the pattern, like, you'd think the pattern would be, like, super frustrating and hard to do, but, like, if you can get, like, a decently straight line going, I was like, this is fun, I want a suit like that, man. Day 10 was Indari, and Indari also lives rent-free in my head. He is the one man that I love. Besides, like, Necron. And this ties into the Bitcon piece from earlier. Bitcon's on the other end of the phone, like, you'd better save me some of that pizza. And Indari's like, yes, I will, I love you. I just wanted to draw Indari looking relaxed. Because, you know, it might seem obvious to draw Indari doing magic tricks and things like that, or I could have gone down a more angsty route and, like, drawn him in the Mora, or being like, oh, the tuning fork, I cry. But no, he's just eating pizza and waiting for his boyfriend to turn up. Gay ass! Day 11 is Orica, and something, well, I haven't personally seen a lot of, but that's because I haven't been in the Snowbound Blood / Vastera fandom for a lot, is apparently people are always calling Orica like an uwu soft baby who can do no wrong. So I was like, this is the wrench she uses to beat those people to a pulp. Like, I'll show you an uwu baby. Orica's just awesome. She's smart, she's, you know, intelligent, she's creative, and I'm like, she's not a soft uwu baby, she's like 31. Like, if I called her a soft uwu baby, that'd be, like, weird. She could call me a soft uwu baby, I wouldn't mind. Necron. I was kind of inspired by his official Spotify Vastera playlist. Tarzan Boy is one of the songs on there by Baltimora, and I like that song. Like, in fact, Necron's whole playlist is pretty much my taste in music. We like rock. And I was like, hey, what if he was swinging in and he had a knife? He looks so cool, and I love the texture I used for both Necron's colours and for the background. It's called Chaos on Paint Tool Side 2, and I love using the paper textures because I only learned about them recently. I was like, God, my art is so flat and things like that. And, like, besides the shading, I felt it lacked a certain something, but when I found out about the textures, I was like, whoa, oh my god! So I just fucking apply them indiscriminately. Day 13 is Gloma, and one thing I love to watch on Twitch is Liquid Wi-Fi and the Simpsons Hit and Run speedruns, and I was like, Gloma would absolutely, like, do that. Gloma is like the Liquid Wi-Fi of Repetton. He hates it. He hates doing it, but he can't stop because he wants one thing to go right in his life. He wants to have one success, even if it's a world record on, like, a fucking GTA 3 clone. Day 14 is Mashiri, and you know, people might draw Mashiri looking all tender and uwu and everything, but I haven't forgotten about the time she was like, hey, Cecily, square up. And I was like, I want to draw Mashiri looking tough. I want to also draw her with her fangs out. I am looking respectfully. And this image is also apparently 11.6 megabytes because of the texture I used. It's like a I don't know, I don't know what the texture's called, but it fit Mashiri to a T, and I was like, ma'am, I am looking respectfully. You know, jaw looking a bit roughed up, like ready to fucking kick your ass. Like, we're past the stage in, like, online internet loving characters of saying, hey, beat me up, so I'm just gonna say I'm looking respectfully. Day 15 is Roru, and with a chef character, the best thing you can do is, like, project your own favourite recipes onto them. And I was like, what if Roru was teaching a class about how to make bread and butter pudding, which is something I make pretty often for my grandma because she likes it, and it's very nice. And I just fucking wrote typed the recipe onto the, like, whiteboard back there, and that's, like, the focal point of the image. But I am actually really proud of, like, the Roru that I drew. He's just so good, and, like, I read his Toy House page recently, and I'm like, he's such a sad boy. He's, like, paranoid because he, like, got shot once, and I'm like, dude, mood. I mean, not mood as in I got shot, but no, mood as in I'm paranoid all the time. Yeshin, I was not happy about this kind of one. I was like, this truck looks... I'm like, I draw red trucks only. This is a red truck only zone. I hope it detracts away from, like, the sheer difference in the sizes of her hand. I also wanted to do another fucking crossing legs over another thing. I should have added lipstick, but the line art is good. And I like doing the kind of blending of lighting on the hood of the truck. And I like this one. I need to be more positive with myself. I love this, and I love Yeshin. I'm looking respectfully. Cadlis, like, this is an interesting one because I've never drawn Cadlis, but I always liked him. And I Am the Cure, I was like, what if I drew him, like, reaching his hand out like fucking SCP-049 in fucking Containment Breach, because I always love Containment Breach. And I wanted to do, and this marks the day where I kind of did something a bit wild with my lighting. Instead of, like, drawing on where I wanted to put the shadows with the pen and then setting it to multiply and things like that, I filled it in with the multiply layer, and then I erased the bits I wanted lights on, and I think it adds, like, a whole different vibe than I could have gotten with the other method. Like, I think it's cool. I'm proud of this. Day 18 is turning Kai Kai, and I was like, what if I tried to emulate the style of the comic a little bit? And I always kind of like challenging myself to do, like, MSPA or kind of Vastera style things. So I was like, I'm going to make them look like this. All through my head, like, when I was drawing the pose, I was like, haha, one, you know, like from the Sonic fan dubs. Puzzle, I am proud of this one, day 19. This is another case of me filling in using the multiply layer and, like, just deleting the places I want lighted, but I love this, like, dramatic lighting angle because, like, you can tell he's above you, he's like raising his club up into the darkness, he's about to swing it down and kill you, and also I wanted to draw teeth. Like, I'm proud of this one. I really am, and I don't usually leave the multiply layer that dark, but I just felt like the dramatic lighting really kind of adds to it. Day 20 is Husk or Husky or whatever, and I was like, I don't really have an idea for this, so I'm just going to draw them, like, sitting on the roof of the barn looking forlornly up at the moons. And it works. I really like this. It's got, like, such a... To me, it's got, like, such a tender, kind of cozy, whimsical kind of atmosphere to it. Like, it's soft, and I'm happy with this one. I love Husk. They are child. Day 21, Osseous, which I realise I have been pronouncing wrong. I was like, Orceus, but no, it's Osseous apparently, or Osseous. And this was a bit rushed, I think, but I'm still proud of this, and I don't know how to draw computer keyboards because I'm impatient. So, you know, when you are busy but you still want to sip your tea, Rogi made it for him. I love Arceus. He's... Two people have said that I am like Arceus. My mother said it, and one of my friends said it, and I'm like, am I really like Arceus? I mean, I can get the like anxiety bit. To loud, this was an interesting one because I used the binary pen with this as well to kind of give it like a video gamey kind of feel. And I used the deck layer texture on the background, and I was like, I think this is good. Not much else to say about it. I like this. She loves you. Day 23, Diania, who is the, like, who's the deer that Cadlis mentions in his route, who is apparently an evil little 13-year-old who thinks she's evil and is way better than everyone else. And I was like, I just want to draw her with a bomb. She deserves to throw a bomb at someone. She's just child. Yeah, she would probably blow me up for saying that though. Day 24, Gerbat. A bit of kind of quote-unquote body horror here, with like him being overgrown by the fungi and the flowers and things. And yes, I may have gone the lazy route and like did the background grass with the fur layer texture instead of like drawing the grass strands myself, but I think it really does. It works, and I use the chaos layer texture again on Gerbat's things to kind of look like, well, not look like Vine's thing, but kind of give the impression of. He's not dead, he's sleeping. Oh, this is the one I am most proud of, and it kind of makes me realise why people say, use references for your poses. I read Cretus's Toy House page, and apparently he wants to do ballet, so I was like, what if he like did like a dramatic ballet pose in like his, you know, basement thing? And I was like, what if I only lit the edges of him? And I was like, wow, this is dramatic, like, I'm speechless. I'm proud of myself for this. This is, oh my god, like, it's such a good piece. I'm proud of myself. I applaud me. Valtel, at first I wanted to redraw the scene in his Snowbound Blood route where his eyes go all funny and the room goes like blood red, but I kind of felt like doing a redraw was a bit of a cop-out, and if anyone else is doing a redraw, I don't mean it for you. So I was like, what if I just drew him with those spooky eyes, like looking scared and startled? So that's what I did, and I'm still proud of it. Like, and I did like a different head shape than I usually do. I'm starting to learn how to do the shapes of heads. I like this one. Day 27, Sabine. I could have drawn him doing a train thing. I had a bit of a hard time coming up with ideas for Sabine's piece. Then I was like, what if I drew the dance that he made Roru do in the gala event? Like, it's never mentioned kind of what dance he did. So I was like, hey, what if they did Gangnam Style, even though that song is probably older than some of the people on YouTube right now? And I was like, yeah, this is good. This is very good, and it also gives me an excuse to draw Roru again. Day 28, Sainair. Like, Sainair deserves to smile gently. So I drew her, like, on a red truck again, smiling gently. I always seem to colour a lot of red, like, red lighting, red shading. I'm just obsessed with the colour red right now. Day 29, Critem, who is another one who has not yet had his Snowbound Blood route, and I know nothing about Critem other than he is apparently like Otacon from Metal Gear Solid and is also trans, so I was like, hey, trans rights Critem! And I did like the dots textures for the background and the colours, because I was like, hey, what if this was like a comic? I like Critem. I like Critem's design, and I love the kind of little beardy lines on his face, and trans rights, dude. Day 30, another OC of Zamags, who's like a part of the extended universe. He works at Scorp, and he is Voisto Fixum or something. And I was like, he's a tired little he-him lesbian, so I just drew him yawning. He deserves to have some sleep. And my last piece is probably one of the ones I'd put the most effort into, is Quaver. And I read Quaver and Cretus's pages, and I just became like fascinated with those two characters, because apparently Quaver can can spit acid, but like by the time Werin friends him, it's implied that he's dead, and like the acid was eating him from the inside or something. So I was like, whoa, what if I drew the moment like Cretus comes in and finds him succumbing to like the acid curse? And I spent ages on the fucking acid trails that came out of his mouth. I ended up using like one of the like a kind of textured blend pen that I like saw on the internet and like configured into Paint Tool Sci, and I used like the gore layer texture and the vein layer textures on the background and on Quaver respectively, and I like this piece. Like I could have made the kind of space around Quaver a little bigger at the bottom, but I'm proud of this one, and that was my last piece. I wanted to draw something spooky for Halloween. And like, yeah, that's it. That is SBBtober, and I had a lot of fun with this. Like, I actually got my pieces done like less than 2 weeks into it, because I just wanted to relax for like the latter half of October. And yeah, I just had so much fun drawing characters that I haven't seen before, or might not have got a chance to draw before, and it's really helped with like practicing my lighting, my textures, my shading. It's like, well, thank you, what's Buzz's name? Bisectro on Twitter for organising this whole thing, and I'm just like, wow, I am deeply humbled to share a fandom space with like so many talented artists, because I've seen like the other pieces that people have made for SBBtober, and I'm like, wow, holy shit, wow. Anyway, that's it, I think, so the end.